What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for coming on the YouTube channel again, guys. Look at the new setup. It's decent. It's not bad. But I appreciate you guys tuning in again. And today I want to break down, my 3 steps into creating a training program, okay? And now, I don't want to demonize the idea of going and buying a training program from someone who is an expert in that field, right? So a guy or a girl who is an expert in a certain field, whether that's exercise science, whether that's exercise physiology, whether that's, creating training programs as their work, whether they're with a big club, or whether they're, doing their own thing, whether they're in conditioning or whether they're in strength, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is, if you want to buy a program from someone, that's fine. I have no problem with that. But you still need these 3 steps in order for you to know that it's a good program, right? So these 3 steps are whether you want to make your own program, whether you don't have necessarily the money to invest into a program that's written out by a professional, or if you want to just do it by yourself because you feel more comfortable, or if you want to go buy a program from someone. These 3 things are most important for you to understand. Number 1, self-assessment. You guys know that I'm on this heavy. You know that I'm on self-assessment heavy because it is the first step in anything you do. If you want to improve any area of your life, if you want to improve any part of your game, this is the most important step. You must self-assess. How do you self-assess? Whether that's video analysis, whether that's meditation, whether that's journaling, whatever will get you in front of you, whatever you can do to make yourself more objective, a more objective look on yourself, rather. If you can look at yourself in front of yourself, and that sounds weird and that sounds, far-fetched or whatever, but if you can get out of yourself and be able to look at yourself and say, this is what I need to work on, whether that's skills, whether that's physical, whether that's mental, whether that's technical, whatever that is, you have to be able to take yourself and put yourself in front of your eyes and be able to look at it and be like, oh, I need to work on that, I need to work on that, I need to work on that. Objectively, no emotion, no, oh, but my coach doesn't know what he's talking about, I don't know what whatever. You have to self-assess, number 1. So when it comes to a fitness program, whether it comes fitness or technical or whatever, like I said before, a mental program, whatever it is, whatever program you want, whether you're going to go buy it or you're going to make your own program, you need to self-assess yourself first and say, these are the 3 things I need to work on. These are the 3 things I need to get better. Now, as you guys know, you've seen many of my videos before, your weaknesses are not necessarily the only things you need to work on. I need to be working on my strengths so that my strengths can then get me to the next level. Your strengths are what's going to get you to the next level, right? You don't tell a baseball player, go work on your left arm, right? If a baseball player is right-handed, he makes that right hand valuable. Some right-handed pitchers out in the game right now are worth tens of millions of dollars. They didn't go, their parents, their coaches didn't say, oh, well, work on your left hand, right? When Messi first came into Barcelona, I'm sure that they told him, you need to work on both, whatever. But once they saw him play, I guarantee you they didn't say, oh, good job scoring with your left foot, but you need to work on your right just as much. No, your strengths are what's going to get you to the top or whatever level you're supposed to go. So make sure that you are writing down the 3 things that you want to improve. For me personally, I always want to improve my passing. I always want to improve my passing, and I always want to make sure that it's long range, short range, whatever it is. I need to make sure that I'm continuously working on it, right? So for you guys, first video, no big deal, first video. For you guys, what I would suggest when you're making your own program, make sure that you're writing down the 3 things you want to work on. The 3 things you want to work on. Again, this is your strengths. These are not your weaknesses. Your strengths are the things that are going to get you to the next level, okay? Remember that. Now, the second part is, actually creating the plan, okay? So you're creating the plan. So number 1, you have your strengths, right? So number 2, you need to do some research, right? What are the best types of strength, conditioning, whether you're working on your mentality, whatever you're working on, making sure that your plan is in line with the things that you want to work on. I don't know how I can make it any simpler. You must have a plan for the things that you're going to do in order to make those strengths become stronger, or whatever those 3 things that you want to work on, make them improve, right? So your plan, you might have to do some research on this. If you're not very adept, if you're not apt in actually making a program, you need to go, and this is where you would buy one, this is where you would go and invest in one, is you got to figure out how to improve those 3 things. The key here, guys, the key here, and this sounds so simple and so whatever, but the key here is obviously the self-assessment piece and understanding that once you have it in front of you, once you have that objective view of yourself and what you need to work on, it all gets in line. It all gets in line. And that's what I've been trying to teach you guys for this whole 2020, is that once you guys self-assess, that's why I do video analysis. That's why I specialize in video analysis, is because it's the number one way to self-assess. And once you've self-assessed, once you've self-assessed and you have yourself in front of you, you now can pick each little piece that you need to work on. And at that point, you can get a program, you can get a trainer, you can get a coach, whatever. But if you get a coach first or a plan first or whatever, you might not be working on the correct things. You might be wasting time saying, I want to get faster, I want to get stronger, I want to be a better passer. But then you go and run 2 miles a day. None of those 3 things that I just listed requires me to run 2 miles a day, right? But I have this program that this guy told me to use, and he says you run 2 miles a day or what? But you're wasting time. You are wasting time. So it sounds very simple. Plan on creating better, on improving those 3 things. It sounds easy, but once you have those 3 things, it all gets easier. So number 2, plan. Make a plan. How long do you want it to be? Do you want it to be 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks? How long is the plan? How often do you have to train? If you only have 2 hours a day to train, or if you only have an hour a day to train, it's going to change the plan. It's going to change the length of time probably. So make all these things early. Talk about these things with yourself early. Write these things down early. How long is the plan? And be realistic. Don't say, if you want to lose weight, don't say, I want to lose 8 pounds in a week. It doesn't work, man. It does not work. Be realistic about the timeline, unrealistic about the goal. Be realistic about the timeline, unrealistic about the goal. Yo, I wanna sign a pro contract. I want to sign a pro contract, okay? Only 1% of players make it, right? I want to sign a pro contract. That's unlikely. That is very unlikely that you're going to sign a pro contract. However, put a proper time limit on it, put a proper time frame, or leave it open-ended. Like whenever I sign a contract is whenever I sign a contract. I'm not going to give up. Or if you're going to put a time limit on it, put a real time limit on it. Not by the end of this month, I want to sign a contract when you're not even playing for your first team, right? So be realistic about the timeline, unrealistic about the goal. Set big goals, set massive, massive, massive goals that even thinking about achieving them scares you or makes you nervous, right? Be unrealistic about the goal, realistic about the timeline. So number 2, plan out your how you're gonna actually improve those 3 things. And then number 3, and this sounds simple, but this is the hardest part, is you gotta execute. You got to execute. And a little caveat to that is scheduling, okay? So when you have the plan, the scheduling kind of goes into that. So like schedule each and every single day for the next 4 weeks. Sounds like a lot, but guess what? If you want to make it, if you want to do well, if you want to actually improve your game, which is probably why you're on this video, because you actually want to improve your game, then you need to sit down one day, whether that's a Sunday afternoon or even a 2-day period, and just say, I'm just going to write down the next 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 12, whatever, however many weeks you want to do. But I'm going to literally plan out, meticulous planning each and every session for the next 4 weeks. And if you want to do 4 weeks, and then at the end of 4 weeks, let's regroup and let's do another one for the next 4 weeks, you can do that. That's great. But listen, the more you plan ahead, the more time you save of figuring out what you need to do, and the more you can focus on how you're going to do it and how much energy you're going to put into it. You can put, because planning takes energy, right? Planning takes energy, but it takes a lot less energy to plan than it does to think on the fly. So if I wake up today and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this, and this workout because I feel like it, and then you go and do that, but then the next day you want to do a different workout that contradicts the workout you just did. Now you're going backwards. It's just a jumble of energy. It's not smooth. It's not a smooth process. So what you need to do is you need to plan out 4 weeks ahead. Okay? Take one whole day and just plan out what you're going to do for the next 4 weeks. Now, with that comes the scheduling. So plan out the 4 weeks. Plan out each and everything you need to do. Exercise and all that stuff. Today we're going to do upper body heavy, and then tomorrow we're going to do lower body heavy, and then the next day we're going to do lower body medium, whatever, right? Plan out your week. And again, you might have to do some research on this. I'll probably do some other videos in the future, maybe bring on some strength and conditioning coaches, whatever, guys. Like, this channel's going to be going crazy. I'm going to tell you in the next couple weeks, in the next couple months, because I'm going to start bringing people on. I'm going to start doing, I didn't want to drop it too early, but podcast is coming out end of this month. Just with the intro will be the end of this month, and then next month will be the first episode of the podcast. I'll probably be doing it by myself, but I'll start bringing guests on about strength and conditioning and answering your guys' questions for real. So, I'll get more in depth with this kind of stuff, because I really believe that you guys are struggling with this, and I think you guys looked in too many areas rather than just focusing on what you need to get done, how you're going to get it done, and going and doing it. What you need to get done is the most important part. Again, I'm going to say this, self-assessment. What you need to get done, not what you want to get done, what you need to get done. How you're going to do it, the planning process, how you're going to do it, and then going and getting it done, right? And going and getting it done. So if you guys can plan 2 weeks ahead, 1 week ahead, 5 days ahead, whatever it is, make sure you guys are planning ahead. Saves you time and creates a smoothness, and it creates momentum, guys. I'll do a whole nother video on momentum, because momentum is how you see players like Ousmane Dembele or N'Golo Kante making it to the heights that they've made it. It's that momentum. You guys, and I'll drop a little bit. You guys work very, very hard on one thing for a week. The next week you work on something completely different for a whole week. You put in 100% into something completely different. You guys it's clashing. Or you'll work hard today, but you'll take tomorrow off, and it's clashing. You guys want to get a smoothness, a compound effect, where you are literally doing little things every single day that turns into a snowball, and then just next thing you know, you're playing in the Premier League, right? So that's what happened in N'Golo Kante, Ousmane Dembele, like all these different guys that you guys are like, wow, how did they make it from the lower leagues? Jamie Vardy. It's that snowball compound effect. And I'll do another video on that. But guys, let me go through it one more time. Number one is self-assess. You got to know what to work on in order to work on it, right? You got to know where you are in order to know how to get to where you're going, right? I've talked about this before. If you're in Google Maps can't help you if it doesn't know where you are. So find your current location. Okay? So know where you are. Second is plan. Plan on getting to where you want to go. Plan on getting to where you want to go, right? So the next part is planning. Okay? And then the third part is executing. Executing is the simplest part, but the hardest part. You got to put in every single day. Every single day, you got to be putting in the work. Guys, I appreciate you guys joining me again on the YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys as always. Make sure, if you guys got anything from this, obviously if you got to the end of this video, I really appreciate it. And if you guys got to the end of this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. Make sure you leave a comment in there and let me know what you thought. Anything I can change, anything that I can improve, anything I can do to help you get to the next level. I appreciate it, guys, and I will make sure to follow up this video with some other videos about strength and conditioning, the compound effect, all that stuff, guys. You know videos coming out. Every single week, I'm trying to put out one mentality video. This is a mentality video, trying to get you guys on the right mental straight and narrow. And then later on in the week, probably on Wednesday, I'm going to be giving out an analysis video where I go in depth with a specific player or team and talk to you guys analytically. So I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Appreciate it. Peace.